The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the October 25th. Terrific Tuesday, Turnaround Tuesday, Taco Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm Rhodes TV, Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. And we know life is going to toss circumstances at us. So today, how about you and I, we spend the time taking a look at the circumstance of these markets. Let's go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Now is not too soon. 877-927-6648. Of course, you can reach us internationally or locally, 727-445-1044. Let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, we have the Dow trading down 44 points. She's trading out at 18,178. S&P's off 7 at 2144. NASDAQ Composite down 26 points, trading at 5283. Russell 2000 is off 11 points. Gold's up nearly $10, 1273. Silver up 15 cents at 1776. Light sweet crude down 62 pennies. Leaders to the upside out here, Williams Clayton Energy. I think they were a leader to the downside yesterday. I could be wrong about that, but $18 to the upside today, 25%. Lockheed Martin up $14, 6%. What's that? Little Fuse Inc. LFUS up 6%, $7. Priceline up 7. Everest Real Estate Group perhaps up 648. To the downside, Sherwin-Williams painting the town red. Oh, in a big way, nearly 10.5 or 10.2% to the downside off $28. Volume behind that move so far today, 3.9 million shares. Whirlpool taking the whirl in Sherwin-Williams bath, down $20 as well, nearly 12% to the downside. Waters Corp off $18. Watsco down 10. Mohawk Industries down 10. Many of these here in the housing sector, I believe. So we'll go take a look at some of those stocks. We've got a number of stocks to take a look at from yesterday's show. Don, for example, wanted to take a look at AT&T as we were ending the show. Bill wanted to take a look at sectors in the S&P 500. Mike in Denver wanted to take a look at potash. And another stock, I don't know the name of it, OCLR, is a ticker symbol. And Rose wanted to look at CREE, C-R-E-E, as well as OPHY. I don't know what that stock is. But first, let's go take a look. What are the markets doing? Let's go figure this out. Yesterday, we talked about the ES Mini, right? As we were coming on the air, we had that hammer candle form inside of the 30-minute chart. During the show, we had that hammer candle. We said, hey, you know, it typically means that the market is trying to hammer out a bottom. We said, watch the bottom of the hammer candle. You close below it. That would be a bearish sign. Otherwise, price is likely to move its way up and form what? A seventh wave. Well, lo and behold, at about 5:30 this morning, that is exactly, actually, it occurred before. Was it right at, yeah, it occurred right here at the 5 o'clock time frame. Didn't actually confirm until 6 o'clock this morning. Wave G, wave number 7 on the way up. A little seventh inning stretch. Hey, tonight is game 1, is it not? Tuesday night? Is this game 1 of the World Series? I believe that it is. So you have the move to the upside, 7 waves to the upside, price moving higher, doing less relative energy out there. Gives us that APM, thank you. It gives us that bearish reversal signal. A little dark cloud cover, a little follow through into the 6 o'clock time frame out here. And voila, the market has begun trading lower. So it's got those signals, hasn't exactly traded lower by a huge amount, but it has begun to retrace. The S&P was off 7 points. So there's nothing unusual here. These are the normal patterns. Was this the ultimate in sells out here? I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't think so. However, we're only in wave number 4 to the downside. Now, that is inside the ES Mini. What I want to do is take a look at, and if we take a look at this, somebody might have said, well, what's the A to B equals CD to the downside? I don't see one here. Do you? I mean, I could make one. I could go ahead and throw one in here, but it's not. You know, you want these patterns to really stand out and show themselves to you. There's not been much of a retracement on this move down. It's just really been like a trading desk has gotten the orders. Hey, I want you to sell these positions and do it in a linear fashion. Don't let anything get out of control to either side of the market. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but when I see linear moves like this, that in essence is the message. Now that's with the ES Mini. Let's skip those last comments. Let's go take a look at the Dow out here. We'll take a look at the NQ. Let's do this. We'll take a look at the NQ. All that the NQ was doing, because strong leg bull, just continuing to move higher, doing less relative energy. Of course, a little price relative strength divergence pattern also at 5:30 this morning, trading below that famous red line in the sand on our charts out here, that oscillator unchanged line. So there's your combined bearish connotation message with regard to it. Also, no real A to B equals CD to the downside, just a very simple, orderly, linear move to the downside. Not a ton of price damage done. If we look at the Dow, however, Dow equity future, we're sticking with the 30-minute charts out here right now because I want to give you a feel for what the market is doing, what we want to pay attention to. In the case of the Dow, we actually do have an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now, we had, as we were coming on the air at 1 o'clock, we received one of those by the D point patterns, right? An A to B equals CD here gives us a price projection of 18,084. You know, like we are what's that guy's name? Barbosa. I believe it's Barbosa. We use these patterns here, or these price projections, as nothing more than guidelines. You got to have guidelines out here. Well, the guideline says, in this case, anticipate the first move 18,084 to 18,059. That's your 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD to the downside. Well, you had that bullish engulfing candle form as we came on the air at 1 o'clock. Now, here is the deal. We'll see turnaround Tuesday if we see this occur. Now, ideally, it would be in the next 18 minutes. Doesn't have to be, but it would be nice. Well, I don't know whether it's nice or not. It doesn't matter to me. Right now, I'm neutral in the market. If we take a look at what would suggest turnaround Tuesday is underway, well, that would be a move above that oscillator unchanged line. You also have the bottom of, or the point of control of a TAS market profile at the 18,114 level. So that's the number, 18,114. If the Dow does not get above that, we're only in wave number 4 to the downside. If we don't have any follow through, at least to the upside during this next 30 minutes out here, then we don't really have a valid buy. And I do mean buy the D point out here. So the only equity futures contract on a 30-minute basis that is giving us a buy signal is the Dow. Now, that's a 30-minute chart, right? So when we see some type of signal on a time frame, you like to go up to another time frame, see what that message is, or down to a lower time frame. When you're looking for potential bottoming signals here, I say go down to a lower time frame and see what we have there. Okay, Johnny, you asked me to do that. Let's go do that. Critical pause coming here. But where do you think we're going to start? Let's start with the Dow, right? So we get back from this break. You go take a look at the Dow equity futures contract. You tell me what wave pattern made the most recent high and where we're at right now. You won't be surprised when you see it. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. So we're trying to identify what the market is doing as we speak right now. We're looking at some short-term and ultra-short-term time frames. I'd say when we go down to 10-minute time frames, we're looking at some ultra-short-term time frames. Nonetheless, they are extremely helpful in markets like the ones that we are trading today and have been for many months now, many months now. Now, the question that I posed to you before we went to that break was, if we looked at a 10-minute chart, what pattern formed the most recent top out here? Remember, just really combined. It's very logical the way that you and I take a look at these markets. We're agnostic as to the direction that it's traveling in, especially if you are a intraday trader, day trader type of. But the thing is, the great thing about these short-term charts that you and I look at is they carry over into the larger-term time frame charts that we trade. That's why the Dow and the Russell 2000 are the two most critical daily charts that we're looking at. Why do I say that? Because they both formed seventh wave moves to the downside recently. The Dow first, and then on Friday, which was confirmed yesterday, the Russell 2000, which is still the week indice. But we will learn from that because these patterns are so important. So if we take a look at the 10-minute chart here for the Dow Equity Futures contract, we'll see exactly at 5:10 this morning. Well, really, it wasn't confirmed until that next session. So at 5:20 was when we got that seventh wave move, the key of G. That was the high, that seventh wave move. Thus far right now, the low that we've seen, this came in specifically, wasn't confirmed until 12:30 on the 10-minute chart. Same bottom, right? A seventh wave move to the downside. How does it work? It works. And that's all that we need to know. It just simply works, so you pay attention to it. If you're trading on a 10-minute time frame, the trade is very easy. Your stop is below that seventh wave move. You may move that stop up above somewhere around the oscillator and change line right now, 18,092. You wouldn't enter into the trade right now. You've missed that opportunity because right now we're really up against a bit of resistance. We want to see whether or not on a 10-minute basis price can clear this current TAS market profile. It's right around around the 18,000. I don't know. We're going to call it 18,110. I can't see the number exactly, but if it can move about, it's 18,109 to be exact. If it can close above that level, then you now have a breakout above resistance. But right now it's trading right into resistance out here. We'll see how this level gets handled. So an A to B equals CD completion on the 30-minute chart inside the Dow equity futures contract, a key of G inside the Dow 10-minute chart out here. Inside the good question, I know somebody asked me, well, what's the ES mini doing as well? It too got to a key of G on the 10-minute chart. Now, on the 10-minute chart here, whereas on the 30-minute chart, I couldn't really show you what I consider to be a clear A to B equals CD to the downside. The 10-minute chart's not the same. The 10-minute chart has a clear A to B equals CD to downside, and it made a 1 to 2 A to B equals CD to the downside. Of course, you know, because you own one of Tom's books, The Art of Timing the Trade out there, you know, page, I wish I knew what the page was, but you know on one of those pages out there, it says, and he's quoted as saying, hey, you do a 1 to 2 A to B equals CD, I don't care what direction it is, the market is typically going to turn. Yeah, does it happen all the time? Of course not. But typically, meaning more than 50%, yeah, it does. In this case here, it made the 1 to 2 A to B equals CD, gets that seventh wave move. It too, though, this is the ES mini on its 10-minute chart. It has some resistance out here, maybe about 2140. So it's not exactly out of the woods. 2137 and a quarter or so. Let's call it 2137. Even Steven ought to be support. You get below that, probably that seventh wave move gets taken out. Where's your stop on this trade? It's right below the low of that seventh wave that took place at 12:20 this morning or this afternoon out here. So that's what the market is doing. That helps us. Now what do we do? So now what do we do? Well, we go over and take a look at look for some other identification patterns out here. I don't even know that that even made any sense, but you know what I mean. Now, if you don't know what I mean, what we're going to go do is take a look at your friend and mine, and that is the VIX index. So we've seen the VIX index move higher today. A little bit of a outside session, meaning that we have exceeded yesterday's low and high. We've got a green bar, meaning it has trading above where it opened. Is that a key reversal session? No, I don't think we're in extended conditions out here, so it doesn't have the exact same meaning. Price is really coming back up and out of, oddly enough, testing the trend line. Right, breaks through a trend line today. It's coming back up and testing. It's testing that all-important level right now, which is priced at about 1375. That's the number I'll give you. If you see it close above 1375 today in the VIX, I can guarantee you one thing. If I could guarantee anything, that guarantee would be that the markets will finish lower. It's really just that simple out there. If we close below it, I don't know. It says, I go check mark, one more up for the bulls, even if the market does close lower. But the guarantee is if you see the VIX index close above what I said was, 1375, 1374, it's going to keep changing on my screen out here, but right around that. Hey, one thing's for sure, above 1408. This market is not going to be green out there, meaning green. Of course, many of you might say, well, geez, Steve, you were a rocket scientist to go ahead and figure that one out. Well, the one thing that I did figure out is what the VIX is doing. And right now, all it's done is tested and rejected levels of resistance. And so that's what it's done. So that lines up with what it is that we're seeing in the 30-minute and the 10-minute charts out there. So hopefully that assists you with what the market is doing as we speak right now. You and I have kind of thrown out these advanced decline oscillator readings right now. We've just been moving in and around the zero area out here. However, all three synergistically, if that is a word out there, and it was something that we began using at least 30 years ago. Synergy. We had to create teams. Had synergy out there. In any event, I think there's even a company called Synergy. Now, of course there is. Now, if we take a look at those oscillators, it clearly tells us that it is sellers that are in control of the market. But let's face it, buyers and sellers have not been able to do a whole heck of a lot with these markets here. We'll just leave it at that. VIX index, as I said, really in the hands of the bulls right now, not the bears as we speak. Okay, Goldilocks. Gold is up $10. Silver's up 18 cents. So let's go see what gold is doing, where it's headed to. We know where it's headed to, right? It's headed to the top of its TAS daily profile. We're not there yet. When are we going to get there? I don't know. We're going to get there soon. Maybe it's overnight. Maybe it is today. That number where it's going to get to, though, is 1278.50. We get above 1278.50, and that says that price will go ahead and bounce up into the 1,300 level. 1,300 happens to be its weekly TAS market profile. Now, I'm going to have to go study this Because what I can tell you is that, or what I would share with you, is that having this new weekly box form inside the prior weekly box, I'm not sure what to make of that. But you can see those are the green lines that are out here. They formed yesterday, and I wish I could give you the actual meaning of that reading. So I need to go back and study charts, see when that pattern occurs, what it actually means out there. I know when a pattern like this forms, and typically in price is already below that level, and even if I switch this to a weekly chart, that's not a bullish scenario. However, I'm going to reserve judgment on that because we're not done with the week just yet, right? So I need to understand how the week actually ends out here. But the key level for Goldilocks is going to be that 1278.50. That's resistance. It's strong resistance. That much you and I know. Some of you can say, how do you know that? We know that just simply because of the makeup of the TAS market profile. We know that point of control closer to resistance, or the top of the box, says sellers ought to be in control. If you're wondering where the snipers are sitting on gold right now, it's at 1278.50. We'll see if the bulldozer of the bulls can overrun the snipers. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 41 right now. S&P is down about 7. So let's go take a look at some of these charts out here for our listeners out here, viewers. First was for let's start where we left off yesterday. That was with our caller, Don. I think Don was in Virginia. He wanted us to go ahead and take a look at AT&T. Ticker symbol out here is T. It's trading at 36.74. So we've just really got a blank chart on my screen. It's not that we actually just have, in essence, a blank chart. We haven't decorated it yet. But as we would decorate this, what are the things that stand out to you? So when we take a look at this, and I'm multitasking, by the way, but still, when you take a look at this, what is it that you would do? How would you start decorating with some of the technical tools? Interestingly enough, out here, I'll put this chart because I've got my wave counter on this chart here. When we take a look at AT&T forming its most recent high out here, this was the high on this trading day. Let me get to that trading day. Let me get my cursor out here. Right here on the trading day of July 6th. Interestingly enough, off of this hammer candle from May 20th, if you count the waves on the way up, it gets to wave number 7. It's not, you are probably getting just sick and tired of hearing one tone and one ping, Vasily, right? You're probably getting tired. No, you're not getting tired of it. You're seeing it repeat over and over and over again out there, right? And that is a beautiful thing. Now, in the case of AT&T, to the downside, we're only in wave number F. So I would say that to Don, it's too early to get in on this trade out here. We don't have any types of bullish reversal signals, even as price was moving lower. Doing less relative energy out here, just again, because you see a green body, just means where the open and the close is. Red body is not bearish. Green candle is not bullish out here. Some are, but they have to be a certain type of candle formation. We do not have a bullish formation, and price is no longer moving lower with less relative energy out here. So this says that price is headed lower. And yes, we could have put in some A to B equals CD patterns out here. You know, where would they be? If I were going to draw one, I'll do it on the other chart out here. This is the one that, so now we don't have any decorations on this chart. So if we're going to take a look at where logically my eyes gravitate, right? This is an art, not a science out here, as much as we like to make this a science project. The A point, that's pretty clear, right? None of us have a question about where that goes. That's going to be on that swing point high, July the 5th out there. What I would use as the B point, because you're looking for something that has a decent retracement in it, I would come all the way down here to September the 12th. That would be the B point that I would use for this A to B equals CD pattern, and I would use September 27th. Look, with regard to the lightning bolt pattern, A to B equals CD, the market is always revealing information to us. I get to use all the information that it has provided to us in the past. And from that, we go ahead and we put together our swing points that we're going to use. No matter when you draw your A to B equals CD patterns, always be willing to use the next piece of information. That's the gift, right? Things happen for us, not to us. The gift is that we get more information. We get more information. We use it. That may change the lines of demarcation that we put in to a chart pattern. In this case here, we can see the 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. We can also see that price is really cooking. Somebody says cooking with gas out there. They're really cooking with gas to the downside in comparison to, we don't even have volumes on here, right? Volume, schmolium, not necessarily, but without volume, we've got a ton of information out here. And so we can see that it's cooking with gas to the downside, stronger on that C to D leg than that A to B leg. This says that AT&T could easily head down to the 34.68 level. That's what the daily chart communicates to both you and I. If we just take a look at what looks like a simple retracement out here, that retracement would be coming off of, this is what I would use for my retracement, not expansion. So let's come out here. It's going to be from the trading day of August 24th, 2015. That's not a surprise out here. And you've got a 0.618 Gartley buy pattern that could be forming around this 35.91 area. Right? We're in a sixth wave to the downside, F. So, Don, pay attention to see what happens when we get to a lower low from yesterday, wave number 7. Wait to see if we get a bullish reversal signal. And if we do, there, voila, is your buy pattern inside of AT&T. I hope that helps you out. Now, Bill wanted to take a look at sectors out here, and he was most specifically interested in the XLK. Bill, I don't know if you're still listening. With regard to the XLK, is it because of anything specific? Apple, Google, that type of stuff, or trying to use that with regard to, hey, if the XLK tops, then so too does the market, anything along those ways. So, but Bill wanted to take a look at earnings, okay? With regard to the XLK, which is the strongest, this is the leading sector inside of the S&P 500. The tough thing about the XLK here is that it has been trading sideways-ish, if you will, for really since probably about the early part of July out here. So trying to find, like, there's not a wave count that I can point to, Bill, that's going to provide you with any information. There's not really an A. If we were to draw an A to B equals CD pattern out here with regard to taking a look at the XLK to the upside, what would it be? Just using coming off of the bottom from June 27th out here. And this is the one that I would use, right? Your A point is June 27th. Your B point is up here on September 7th. Your retracement was that 3-day retracement down on September 12th. The A to B equals CD on here gives you a price projection of 52.32. Am I saying that that's where price is headed to? Well, I tell you what, if the B point, which is the trading day of September 7th, gets taken out with volume, let's go find out what the volume is. Let's go turn that puppy on. And that puppy says that the volume out there is 11.5 million shares. You know, if we take that out again, we've taken it out with lighter volume, September 22nd. And we've been back over there really since 9 million shares on September 30th. So if tomorrow, as an example, you take out that B point with more than 11.5 million shares, and if Apple does not disappoint, which I don't believe that it will, but my beliefs, who gives a, you know what I mean, I think that the chart setup says that Apple will not disappoint, that Apple is going to move higher. We'll see if the charts are correct, or my reading of the charts are correct. But if, in fact, Apple does not disappoint, the stock continues to move higher like I anticipate that it will, probably the XLK will take out that September 7th swing point with volume, more than 11 million shares. Now, if I try to turn on, because I can, both daily and weekly market profiles out here, what we know is that price is really up against resistance. But, Bill, you and I knew that it was up against resistance before we even turned on these profiles, right? We know this thing has been trading sideways out here. We know that it hasn't really taken out that swing point September 7th with volume. So we know that it's been struggling. That is also proof in the pudding, or proof in the TAS market profiles, which are 47.84 and 47.97. So which way is this going to trade? The only way, Bill, for you and I to really understand the XLK and what it's going to do is to just simply take a look at the components with inside it. And so I'm glad that you asked me that question. What the heck? I didn't want the yield curve out here. Oh, don't tell me I'm having crazy. Oh, man. Well, Bill, that wasn't very fun, was it? I just deleted my chart out there. That, folks, that is what's called, you know, a Stevie mistake. They happen, no, unfortunately, happening during a live show doesn't help a whole lot. So the good news is we're near a break. I'm going to come back out here. We're going to take a look at the XLK. I'll try to remember what I was saying before. Good Lord, what just happened there? I'm going to try to get this all straightened out before we get back. And then we'll figure out what's going on with, the components inside the XLK. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're going to go take a look at the some of the heavily weighted instruments inside of the XLK, just so that we can do this for Bill. So you can see up on my screen as of yesterday's close, we can see that there's 72 holdings within inside the technology sector. That's the right-hand side of my screen. The top 10 of which, by the way, represent 62% of the weighting structure. So we don't really have to go ahead and understand what the XLK is going to do as an example. We don't have to go through all 72, right? We don't even have to really go through the top 10 out here. And we won't go through the top 10 because that would just simply, it might bore you. But we certainly can take a look at some of them. So let's take a look at Apple out here. Apple's the top one, 14% of this ETF structure. So therefore, the way that Apple responds to the market, or the market responds to Apple's release of earnings today, sales, earnings, forecast, the whole 9 yards out here, is going to be important to both the QQQ series ETF, the NQ out here, the XLK, even the Dow, right? Although the weighting inside the Dow is not as significant as it is inside of this sector. Now, as we take a look at Apple on a daily chart, if you and I were going to take a look at this, we know that Apple has stalled that resistance of its TAS daily profile high, 118.08. The actual high today, 118.01. Any chance we're going to see a close above 118.08 today by the end of the day? I doubt it. No reason to, right? It's resistance. It's trading right up in resistance. What can we learn from the daily chart? What can we learn from the weekly chart? Well, weekly shows us that the most recent bop to the downside on October 19th found support at the old weekly level. So a key level of support out here on a move to the downside for you to watch is going to be 114.82. It's been tested. It's been rejected. You get below that, what does that say Apple's going to do? Well, we're going to cover both sides of this trade out here. To me, it would suggest that you would get down into 107, which is 108, really, 107.99, down to the 103.90 level. That's what would be what Apple would communicate to me. That's the downside action. But get the upside action, you have to really take a look at the weekly chart. We were talking about A to B equals CD patterns earlier, right? I think we were. I know we were. And as we take a look at this, and this is a weekly chart out here. Let me turn off those TAS market profiles. You tell me where Apple is headed to next, right? To the upside what has Apple suggested to you and I? Earlier, when I started the show, I said, it looks to me like Apple wants to trade higher. Why? Just like when you and I look at the 30-minute charts, in this case here, we went to a downsized chart to get a signal. We could have taken the time to also go to an upsized chart. What's an upsized chart? Supersized. It means we would have looked at the daily or 2-hour chart or 5-hour chart or something along those lines. No reason that we didn't do it. I just moved on to some other topic out here. But inside of Apple, right, if you own Tom's book, which you should own Tom's book, and we were taking a look at the volume, and we're just using simple volume structures out here, both you and I would know that Apple has clearly given us a signal that it's going to move higher. Has it not? No, it has. How do we know that? Well, we just simply take a look at the swing point. Swing point couldn't be more clear for you and I. The swing point that began on August 15th. And Bill, that has volume of 132 million shares. And when that was passed, it was passed with what? You got it. Accelerated volume, 390 million shares, and wide price spread. This is a clear example in the art of timing the trade with the A to B equals CD patterns out here that Apple wants to move to higher ground. You may say, where is that higher ground? I say it's 121.26. In fact, I would argue that if Apple is going to respond, or the market's going to respond positively to their news, I don't know whether it will or it won't. I know we have a confirmed A to B equals CD the upside. I know 110.23 on this chart should be good support. If it fails, then obviously, then it tells you that it's a very bearish message. But right now we have to go with the information that we have out here. And it looks like it is not like it's third down with 10 yards to go, but it might be first down with about first down and about $5 with 17, we'll call it 118 to 122, about $4 to go, and then another $4, $5 after that. The 126.35 is what I would target, is where Apple is headed to. Now that is the number one holding inside of the XLK. And they're out with earnings. We know that Microsoft, MSFT, they're out with earnings already, were they not? And they have moved higher. So there's no question. This is the weekly chart here for Microsoft. If we take a look at its current A to B equals CD, we're dealing with a B point out here of about 99 million shares. This thing was passed with 139. So where's Microsoft headed to? So with regard to the XLK, here's your A to B equals CD pattern inside of Microsoft. This has a completion projection of about 65.32 or 69.98. Now, those top two holdings represent 25% of the XLK. Facebook, FB is the ticker symbol. Where's that headed to? That's about, Facebook, yes, Facebook is nearly 7%. Facebook has completed the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. This thing looks like it's headed to its next level, which is 138.53. Bill, you tell me, where do you think that the XLK is going based on taking a look at these charts? These are weekly charts, right? So we're getting a little bit longer-term view here based on what represents 30% of the weighting structure. If we want 40% of the weighting structure, all we really need to do is go take a look at one of the Google stocks out here. So we'll just go for the Googly Eye, G-O-O-G, as soon as I can type it in. Let's go see what Google says. Yeah, Mr. Bill, you've got it right. I mean, all Bill and I are doing is just very simple work. We're saying, okay, we're interested in this sector. What is it doing? And we are unwilling to just do our initial work, which is to take a look only at the ETF, because we know that it's a weighted structure. And so we go in and we take a look at, hey, what are like the top 10 holdings doing as an example? Now, in the case of Google, it's up above resistance, which I would consider to be the week that was February 1st out there, that had 27 million shares. And last week, you got above it with 8 million shares. So with regard to Google, I'm not all googly-eyed out here with regard to its weekly chart, because it most certainly hasn't passed a B point with volume. Nonetheless, as long as Google is able to trade above 789.87, it's okay. But I am not as enthused about the meaning of the weekly chart for Google out here as I am with regard to the meaning of what Apple's chart says and what Facebook's chart says and what Microsoft's chart says out there. We already took a look at AT&T, which is 5% of this sector, and we know that Don in Virginia is going to wait for that seventh wave move to form before he considers stepping into that trade. So that is, Bill, I hope that helps you with regard to what I think at least the XLK sector is doing out there. Now, let's go back and take some of our other requests. I haven't even looked at today's requests out here. So somebody might say, hey, put a dime in the taco meter out there. I'm sorry. Let's go take a look. But if we are not thorough right, with regard to taking a look at this stuff. What good am I to you? And what the heck happened to this chart out here? I hit these buttons, and all of a sudden, look at this. Other stuff shows up that shouldn't be showing up. Oh, man, this is like a bummer. What the Sam heck? You know what I meant to say out there, but really, what the heck is going on out here? Okay, let's go take a look at potash. POT is the ticker symbol. Who requested that? That was Mike in Denver. Oh, Mike, what a bummer this is. Okay, we're going to switch over off of this chart. I'm going to reboot this piece of it during the breakout here, but nonetheless, I'll go back to this page here. Let me see if I can pull potash up. It's not a part of this. That's okay. We take a look at this. This is the weekly chart. All right, Mike. Not a heck of a lot here in potash. Just simply under accumulation is about the only thing that we can say, right? Potash underneath this has got the accumulation scenario going on this chart out here. But it did pull back to a nice little breakout area. Looks like it wants to move higher to me. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 34 right now. S&P is down 5. Let's go out to Philadelphia and speak with John. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you doing this afternoon? Good to hear your voice, too.
Steve, thanks for taking the call.
Sure.
Steve, I'm calling about gold. And one feature one element of the gold market that I haven't seen you speak of recently that you have done in the past. I wanted to bring to your attention, or rather ask you the question thereof, namely gold priced in the major currencies. We know what it's doing in dollar terms, but in terms of yen terms, euro terms, Chinese yuan terms, I'm wondering if the fact that gold is rising in all those major currencies and stabilized versus the dollar price, if this is a bullish signal as you see it.
So if we take, so it's a really excellent point, and thanks for asking the question. And John is right. If you're watching us on Tiger TV, I'll go ahead and populate the entire screen. And from time to time, I take a look at gold priced in several different currencies. And on my chart right now, you're going to see many of those. You're going to see the Japanese yen. That's the top panel. And although this looks a little bit smushed, what you can clearly see, and I can turn them off, but what John's really asking about, which is an important question, if we take a look at gold priced in yen, that is the top panel of my chart out here. In fact, I'll do this one at a time. We'll turn them on and off one at a time. And this is what John is looking at. And I appreciate you actually highlighting this point and bringing it to our viewers' attention. So if we take a look at gold priced in Japanese yen, we can see that it has been trading in a descending price channel out here. Those are the green diagonal lines. But we know that price got down to the bottom of that channel. Never really broke it with any kind of conviction. Was down below it in essence for one day, not a big deal. But we can see that price of gold priced in yen has been moving higher. This says if you can't bust them down, it ought to go bust them up and move to the upside out here. So that's what its chart says. If we look at gold priced in euros out here, we can see that it was in a rising price channel. It did break through with conviction. That was on the day of October 4th. You break through it. It hasn't really tested the bottom of that rising price channel. This would say to me, regardless of what we're looking at, regardless of my position, right, technically speaking, this should try to get back inside that price channel, or at least test the 1190-ish type area with gold priced in euros. If we take a look at gold priced in South African rand out here, that is now this chart that is on our screen. This one's not necessarily as clear and equivocal as the first two that we looked at. We know that it's trading inside a descending price channel. Hasn't tested the bottom, just really trading in the middle of it. So gold priced in South African rand is not giving you and I much of a signal out here. Gold priced in Australian dollars didn't really break through a descending price channel. Once it's going down, it can't really break through it. So I would question where I have actually placed the bottom of this descending price channel. I'm not going to go there and fix it right now. But we can see that this looks like it is off of the bottom. As far as bottoming patterns go out there, this one right here between the days of October 14th and October 20th is what the Japanese candlestick charters would call a three-river morning star. Now, it wouldn't show up on most charting applications, John, because most people look for only 3 candles. But when you have, in this case here, it had 3 small-bodied candles just underneath the lows of the October 14th date. This is actually a very powerful bullish reversal signal. It's the same type of bullish reversal signal that we got inside the Dow when it made its bottom back in 2009 and other times out here. So I can say that, yeah, I think your call here that other currencies look like they have bottomed too, that we will see gold at least go test that key level, that next key level out here, which is going to be, come on, work with me. I can't tell you what that is because I can't get on my screen. I'm sorry, we've got to go. Thanks for calling, John. Steve. You bet.
Larry Pesavento has just announced a special offer for subscribers to his trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Right now, you can get a month of Larry's Fibonacci 24/7 while gaining access to his upcoming live webinar, The Pattern That H.M. Gartley Missed, taking place Wednesday, October 26th. This live workshop will be archived for subscribers if you cannot attend live. And if you order right now, we'll also send you a copy of Larry's book, A Trader's Guide to Financial Astrology. This book retails for $90, but we'll send it to you as part of this special offer that runs through the night of the workshop, Wednesday, October 26th. Sign up now and get a free copy of Larry's book, a month of his Fibonacci 24/7 trading service, and a live workshop on the pattern that H.M. Gartley missed. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, this is an offer that you can't let pass you by. Sign up today for Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.